What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all have had a great Monday and a great start to your week. First, before we start this video, I want to say thank you all. Thank you for all the new subscribers who have subscribed to my channel, liked the video, and thank you all for the amazing support. I've picked up over 100 subscribers in the last 7 days or so. So thank y'all for that. Y'all continue to support just a guy that's a guy's passion, basically, which is the weather. YouTube gives me an opportunity to talk about what I love to an audience. So I'm definitely appreciative of everyone, and thank you all for the amazing support and accomplishing a mini dream of mine. So thank you all for that. So before we get going, if there's any new viewers, definitely hit the subscribe button. I upload content every day. If I miss a day, I normally double up the next day and post 2 videos. So even when the weather's really boring, I'll get y'all an update. I cover weather in the eastern U.S., and so definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. Y'all support is amazing and appreciated. And like the video if you like it. It helps the video get out there. So in this video, we're going to break down the tropics. Continue. Let me tell you, everybody woke up shocked. There's 3 areas of interest. The one that's actually might become Beale in the next update here in the next few minutes. I actually am going to show you all the older update from 2 p.m. because the new one hadn't quite came out yet. So you might end up watching this video and the new update might be come out. So there's a chance for Tropical Storm Beale to form off the coast of the Carolinas. That's pulling away rapidly. Then you got the area in the Gulf that we've been talking about for a long time. That's going to have a chance to, I really think it's going to become at least a tropical storm, but it does have a chance to become a hurricane and affect the United States and affect a lot of areas, not just Louisiana and Texas, but a lot of areas. And then there's an area of interest way off the coast, coming off the coast of North Africa. Very rare for this time of year, but a big, robust tropical wave that actually has a chance to develop. Does it have a chance to affect the U.S.? I doubt it. Very highly doubt it, but we'll watch it. So let's go on into this video. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. So this is the 2 p.m. update. By the time y'all watch this video, there's a good chance, well, there's about a 90, probably almost 100% chance that by the time some of you guys watch this video, this is going to be the 8 p.m. update. So this might update to an 80% chance. This might update to Tropical Storm Beale. I know guys have been talking for days and days that this is going to be Beale, but this thing surprised everybody. Didn't just surprise me. I've been kind of mentioning a little bit in the videos, but it ended up exceeding expectations. It ended up with tropical characteristics, and it is 2. What that stands for is Tropical Depression 2. So the next stage up is a tropical storm. So this thing definitely has a chance to hit a 45-mile-per-hour storm here in the next update, or maybe the update overnight. And then we have this area of interest up here that has a 20% chance of developing in the next 5 days. But let me tell you, first off, a lot of things don't even make it this far where there's even a chance of development. Second off, when they do, there's a lot of dry air to the north of the storm, and there's also cooler water around this area, and there's also shear, so it's going to be fighting off the 3 things that that help promote development in tropical systems, and it's not going to be on its side. So does it have a chance to become a named storm? I definitely do think it does, but does it have a chance to make it all the way across the Atlantic? I doubt it. But this is the big bull we're watching right here, and this is the one we're going to focus on in this video because I really think this is going to have a big effect on the lower 48 and the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, and not just this area in Louisiana, Mississippi. It's going to have a big effect on the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida too, especially if the European scenario comes true. So we're going to break all that down. We're going to run through this, so stick with me. It's going to be a longer video just like yesterday, but if you really want to know what's going on, stick with me in this video, and I'll try to break it down as best as I can for the audience to understand. So here's the wave, the tropical wave. Here's what could be Tropical Storm Beale. And the next name after B, a B name, which is Beale, is a C name, which is Claudette. So you notice this is where it's supposed to form. You know, you're thinking, well, I don't see nothing down here. Well, we didn't expect to. But the broad area of low-level circulation, it's there. There's a little bit something there, but it's actually drifted a little further south. So we'll take a look. This is what could be Tropical Storm Beale. It could not. Potentially it's stuff in the Gulf of Mexico and could end up being what Beale is. We'll find that out. So disregard everything I say because a lot of time, a lot of you guys watch this video, this could be Beale or this could not be Beale. So Either way, if becomes a tropical storm, it's not going to do anything but bring a bunch of waves to the eastern coast. So this is its projected path. It is expected to become a tropical storm, potentially on the next update. Probably a 45-mile-per-hour storm. It'll be tropical storm Bill, but it's heading on out. And it's not going to do anything but be a fish storm, what we'd like to say. This is that robust tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. Notice it just looks like a bunch of flare-ups, a bunch of flare-up convection. But this is a pretty big tropical wave in the weather world. This is definitely a big, robust wave. This is the track based off GFS tracks. And notice the intensity. Basically, the further down this you go, the stronger the system. It goes the yellows, oranges. You notice it stays more in the bluish and greenish areas, with one track having it become sub 1,000 millibar storm. But it's keeping all of it above 1,000. What that tells me is this is going to stay pretty weak, and it's going to stay like that. Now, this is the big part. This is the big system we're talking about. And I know you're thinking it just looks like a bunch of storms flaring up, a bunch of convection, but it does have a little bit of a circulation, but it's a low-level circulation. It's very broad, but it's actually drifted a little further south. This thing is really getting smashed down here. There's not going to be any northern motion really until maybe the next 48 hours. But here is, wrong screen. So here is the potential tracks, the GFS tracks of the storm. All of them have it heading north. Even if it stays a weak storm, all of them have it heading north into potentially Louisiana, potentially Texas, potentially Mississippi. I want to stress to y'all over and over and over again that this is going to be an east lopsided storm, meaning all the action is going to be on the east side of the circulation. So even if you go back to look at this, say if it makes landfall right here, all the action is going to be right here. And I'll show you all a couple good examples of that coming up. But this is the potential model intensity guidance track. I tell you what, and this is just random models, but a lot of them, almost all of them, have it going to tropical storm now. So it's definitely something we need to pay attention to, and definitely watch out for. Let me make sure I have. No, I'm sorry, guys. This is 94L. So let's back it up here. Current storms, and here we go. My bad, guys. That was totally my bad. So a lot of them have it at least making the tropical storm status. So this is for 92L, which is what 92L is, the storm that could potentially impact the lower 48. It could potentially become TD3, which stands for Tropical Depression 3, and then it could become Tropical Storm Bill or Tropical Storm Claudette, which is what I'm more leaning towards. So my bad for that. So what I want to show you next is the European model. This thing came in pretty aggressive, and it's not how strong it necessarily was at landfall. It's how it retains its strength inland. If the Euro happens, this will be a pretty significant weather event. I'm not talking about Hurricane Laura or anything, but it'll be much more impactful further inland and affect more areas in the southeast. So here it comes. We're getting into Wednesday. If you don't know what day we're at, check it out right here. WED stands for Wednesday. Most of y'all know that. And notice we're all the way into Thursday, and it's still finally starting to inch north. But notice the L popping up here. 1,003 millibar storm. That's probably a tropical depression. Then it gets to 999. It gets sub 1,000. And it's still just, even when it starts to get north, it's still very slow. As we're getting into Saturday, maybe Saturday morning, it begins to make a landfall. Maybe it's a low-end tropical storm. But what's odd about this is it strengthens once it gets inland. I don't know what the Euro is doing, but the storm strengthens. I don't know if it merges with energy from a trough and almost turns into its own little entity or something, but I don't know what goes on here. But let's flip to this, because this is crazy. We go a little further north, so it's showing more broad area of the southeast. And check it out. This thing cruises it almost does what a lot of tropical systems did last year. It almost cruises the spine of the Appalachian Mountains, but it heads right through Atlanta, heads right through Birmingham, right through Atlanta, right through upstate South Carolina into the Piedmont, North Carolina, and retains its strength. And that'll keep areas down here on the east side of the storm, southeast quadrant of the storm, which could be a big tornado threat if the Euro was to come true, if it was to happen. This is just one operational one. But I tell you what, the European model was crazy today. I mean, look at it go. Check out max wind gusts off the Euro. This is just wild. I really don't think this is going to happen, but you can't doubt the scenario. This is potential max wind gusts that surge on the east quadrant of the storm. Like I said, the east part of the storm is going to be the windiest, and it's going to be the rainiest and the stormiest. So it's got potential max wind gusts all the way from South Alabama to Central Georgia to Central South Carolina, Central North Carolina, all the way up to Virginia. Pushing high-end tropical storm close to hurricane force winds as far as max wind gusts. I just don't think that's going to happen. As far as rainfall, according to the operational European model, check this out. Throws a ton of rain on Louisiana and Mississippi. I'm talking about over a foot of rain. And then it throws a ton of rain into Georgia, into the Carolinas too, several inches of rain. You look at this, it's just a broad area of this. I'm gonna show you a United States view of this, because check out what the storm does according to the European. It hits in, makes landfall in Louisiana, goes through the southeast, straddles it, and then it gets back over the Atlantic Ocean and almost looks like it turns into a nor'easter or something. And it's like a hurricane. It's hurricane strength off the coast of New England right here. It's just a wild scenario that it's hard to believe. It would be interesting to see if the European is anything like that for the overnight run. But here you go. This is the GFS. The GFS is nothing crazy like that, but it does develop at 997. You probably can't hardly even see it. Millibar storm, which is probably a tropical storm, low-end tropical storm. Kind of the same thing. It's around the Saturday morning time frame, so maybe the timing is getting better. And it throws a bunch of moisture into the southeast too, but it's nothing crazy like the European showing. So I want to show you the ingredients in place that might limit any possible major development, and that is shear. I'm just showing you the GFS, for example. This is where our storm would be. I got to back it up here. Notice, see the L popping up down there, but notice all that shear, that red, that is all shear, dry air, all wrapped into the storm. That's really preventing this from exploding over pretty decently warm waters in the Gulf of Mexico. So you see all the shear wrapped around the storm. It's going to shred any tropical development. Also, when I mentioned dry air from the ridge of high pressure right up here, it's going to be just plowing into some pretty dry air. That's why the east side of the storm is going to be much more robust, and the north to west side of the storm is just going to get eaten up by dry air. The pattern in place as far as where you got blocking and ridging, here comes our system right down here. This is where it is. Notice you have a ridge right here, big time ridge. I mean, it's over 110, almost 115 degrees in Phoenix right now. And you got a ridge over here to the east, southeast of the storm. So it can't really meander this way. It can't really go much. That's why it's not really wanting to go into Texas. So it has to kind of find it right here. Now notice a ridge almost builds on top of the storm right around Friday. So it kind of slows down. But then it starts to kind of find its way a little bit as you get later in the weekend. It finds an opening and it heads on out and kind of just dissipates. So ocean temps, they're not too bad, about around 80, low 80s, maybe upper 70s in spots at the Gulf. So low 80s is starting to get into the threshold for good tropical development. So we're starting to get there. So that's all I got, guys. I know it's a mouthful, but a very interesting day from the tropics. We have 3 areas of interest. So stay tuned, but I really think if you're along anywhere from East Texas all the way up to Virginia, including Florida, pay attention to the storm, because even if you're not getting hit by a full-fledged tropical storm, I think there is a chance, a low-end chance for severe weather, and I think there's a good chance of flooding for a lot of areas and a lot of rain. So I think this will impact a lot more people than maybe what some people think. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed night.